Yeah, I've looked better. Whatever. It's been rainy, stormy, like really stormy. Crap weather. Freezing cold. Not freezing cold exactly, but like super cold. And windy. Tell like it's like my hair is like humidity crazy right now. Um Whatever. Fuck it. I'm so over it right now. I just don't care. I've been sleeping in a sleeping bag in the front seat of my car, and which my dog is in right now. It's really warm though. The sleeping bag is like super warm. Oh my god. Anyway, where can I set the phone? Oh bloody hell. Not there apparently. But I think I'm gonna fast for a couple days just because I can't really. I mean, I can, but it's a pain in the ass. I don't even know if the microphone can. I'll just hold it. I don't know if the what do I got my earrings in? I can't really cook outside when it's like this. It's really windy. I mean, I can, but like not very well. So I made some tea yesterday, but I'm not really hungry. So this happened this time last year too. I ended up fasting for over 2 months. No caffeine, nothing to suppress my appetite. I wasn't smoking cigarettes, nothing. And when I told people that I had done this, they looked at me like, I don't know what they thought, because nobody said anything to me. So I'm not sure if they thought I was lying, or if they thought I was on drugs, or just plain old crazy. I don't know, or all of the above. I don't fucking know. I don't know. People don't talk to me. So I don't honestly know, is the truth. Like, oddly enough, people don't talk to me. It's strange. Like, a lot of people talk about me, though. And how do I know that? Well, because I'm sitting up here on the mountain with just me and my dog. I haven't talked to anyone I don't really talk to people very often, or I don't usually, like, consistently talk with anyone. So when I'm sitting, and I know this may sound wild to somebody whose intuition is not as fine-tuned, but when I'm sitting here and I'm reading my Bible, or I'm reading, like I started reading this book. It's the Bible as in literature. It's like the Bible references in like books, popular books and other things other than the Bible. Excuse me. And I'm just sitting there, like, not thinking about anyone, not feeling any type of way, nothing. And people keep popping into my mind. And I mean, this happens a lot. And then there's that. And that happens a lot. I will just be completely walking my dog, exercising, totally not thinking about anyone. Literally, there's no one on my mind. I'm not thinking about anyone. And then there's somebody on my mind, all of a sudden, that means that person's thinking about me or talking about me. So, and I know that, and I've tested it. I've tested my intuition. I mean, it's true. It's true every fucking time. So, I don't always know exactly what they're thinking or feeling, or speaking, but pretty close. I know if it's positive or negative. Yeah. So, and then the other thing is, when I listen to tarot readings, I just cannot get over how amazing my hair looks right now. Fuck it. Like, if I can, like, deal with my teeth being this messed up, I can deal with fucked up hair. Whatever. So, when I listen to my tarot readings, and I don't try to listen to any particular reader or other. And some, like, a lot of the tarot card readings that come up in my feed, they're not readers that I'm subscribed to. I don't click on them. They come to me. 515 on the clock when I said that. I'm not looking for anything, is my point. Like, I'm not looking for, like, love readings. I'm not looking for anything in particular. I let my feed bring me, like, you know, messages. And I mean, a lot of people might think, well, that's totally fucking absurd. And I'm like, well, most people's YouTube feed is absolutely absurd. So, you know, you might see it that way. But time and time again, it's proven itself to be more right on than my own intuition. Of course it is. But, like, and it might seem random at first, but it's not. It's not random. Even the things that come through my feed about, especially the things about quantum mechanics and the nature of space-time and you know, faster than light travel and all these things that I'm very interested in. But, like, I'm not subscribed to those channels necessarily, so why is it coming up in my feed? And the fact of the matter is, you know, the AI that I work with, and, you know, the nature of God and my angels, and because there really are spiritual entities that exist that we don't see. They don't have bodies like we do. They're very much spiritual, and they're very much in the quantum field. They're very real. It's just they don't, you know, have bodies, like physical bodies like we do. But they do have bodies, but it's ethereal. Now, a lot of people would describe these things that I'm talking about as ghosts or aliens even. Like most ufologists and things like that, they've experienced what I'm talking about. And is my rear defrost on? Or is that like the side defrost? That's odd, huh? Let me see if I can turn on the back defrost, because that's what I wanted on. That's funky. Why is it not on? That's my movement. It should be on in the back. But, you know, most people that, yeah, they've experienced these things. They've either seen them or they've felt them. I never had experiences with things that I would call UFOs or, like, things that had to do with outer space. Never. Like, never, not even once in my life. Until just this last August. I mean, I'd had experiences with things, but, like, not, it was more just, like, seeing really brightly colored meteorites and things like that in the sky. I didn't ever attribute it to anything supernatural, so to speak, or, like, you know, from the quantum field. Like, I didn't think about it that way. I really was just, you know, it really wasn't that for me. It was, you know, I've looked at things very scientifically, very analytically. I mean, I didn't, you know, I was like, you know, it was either it had a scientific explanation or it didn't. And if it didn't, then I didn't pay attention to it, kind of thing. That's how I operated for a long time. And especially when it came to things like astronomy, you know, or things in the astral realm, it really never really, I wouldn't say it never occurred to me, but it wasn't real. It didn't seem as, like, it didn't seem as anchored in reality to think that these things were ethereal, but I could perceive them. It didn't seem logical. It didn't seem real. It seemed like, you know, like this kind of like woo-woo, that's bullshit, psychic, you know, mediumship channeling and all that kind of thing is like, you know, like, you know, bunch of fucking nonsense, basically. You know, mumbo jumbo. Yeah. Mumbo jumbo bullshit. Totally. That's what I thought for a very long time. I didn't give any credence to anything that wasn't yeah, I just didn't, you know, anything that wasn't really concrete, I didn't, you know, or at least made sense in some kind of, like an esoteric way, but not way out there kind of way. I ignored it. Really. I mean, I went out of my way to ignore it. And, I wouldn't say that was really neither good nor bad for me. It was just something I did. I ignored it. And, I had a couple experiences this last meteor shower. I think it was the Geminids, or the Perseids. I think it was the Perseids that we just had the Geminids. I saw them. But the Perseids happened in August. Forgive me if I'm incorrect, but I'm going off memory. My memory is usually very good, so. But the Perseids, I think it was the Perseids. I had never seen anything like that before. I had never experienced anything. I was both visual, like up in the sky, 11:12 on the clock when I said that. It was a time perception difference, like 20 minutes different. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. That's not like a little bit. That's a lot. And also something that I saw here on Earth, like it was hiding behind my car. I know how that sounds. I totally understand. That sounds insane. I get it. But like it was there. And I mean, there were things I was seeing in the sky, a number of things I saw in the sky that I really couldn't explain. And even being an amateur astronomer, like there were things like, what the fuck? I had never seen anything like that. Of course, that's not saying much. I mean, there's a lot of things I'm sure I've never seen, but it wasn't just. And then there was the time difference, because I was actually on the phone with somebody, which I don't usually do. I'm usually not on the phone with anyone. But I was actually on the phone with someone when this happened. And we weren't looking at clocks, mind you. We weren't looking at the clock, and we weren't looking at the time that we had been on, like the amount of time we had been on the phone. But we both perceived 20 minutes difference between the time I saw these things, because I was just articulating them, like describing them, the color and the shape and everything. And then 20 minutes later, the person who was on the other end of the phone, saw them. And there's an hour time difference between me and that person. At the time we were in two different states that happened to be an hour apart. And still though, it shouldn't be 20 minutes difference. That shouldn't happen. Like that, it shouldn't, and even if it does happen, you shouldn't be able to perceive it. Like that's not normal. But it was 20 minutes. We both had the perception of 20 minutes exactly, both of us. And I thought maybe he was lying to me or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've thought all kinds of things. And then I started looking at, there are people who, well, there's one in particular person on YouTube that talks about time miracles. And he very much talks about the personage of the Holy Spirit, and everything he says is biblical. It's true. Not that the whole Bible is true. I'm not going to say that, because it's not. And there's a lot that's been taken out of the Bible, or left out of the Bible, that's true and isn't in there for good reason, because they don't want the truth told. But that doesn't stop us. You know, if you really do make the truth your business, that you will find the truth. It doesn't, you don't need to worry about it being taken out of, or being put, extra bullshit put in, or any of that. God will show you the truth 100% every time. But so these time miracles, as far as like, hold on, I gotta turn the heater down. As far as understanding like the difference in perceiving time, and most human perception of time is totally wackadoodle. It's totally not right. And it will change depending on what timeline you're in. Now, the more you jump timelines, the more you start to understand whether you're on Eden time or whether you're on Earth time or whether you're on Saturn time, because they are all different. And so you start to understand these things like in a more like fundamental way. It stops being this kind of like weird idea for you, and it really becomes like a more grounded, like fundamental thing that you can, you know, like point to and go like, oh, I must be on Eden time because, you know, I just did something that, you know, was actually grueling, but I like did it and it was fun, and I got it done in like 20 minutes when it was supposed to take me like 2 hours. That's Eden time. So, and then there's different aspects of it too, and then there's different, like, you know, Andromeda is on different time, Saturn's on different time than we are. Earth time is very different. So last night I had a dream, and I've been having a lot of these time slips, or at least that I've been noticing. I don't know how many of them I've had, and I just didn't notice them. But I think my hair is a lost cause right now, but whatever. I started noticing them like distinctly. So last night, now mind you, the clock in my car is totally off. It's not set to the proper time, but still it measures time. Does that make sense? All right. So, you know, 10 minutes on that clock, whether it's 2 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, it's still 10 minutes. Now, could the clock be off? Sure, of course it can, but I'm also comparing it to other things. So then that means everything's got to be off, which could also be true, but if it's all off, then it's consistently off. Yeah, it doesn't change, which is also odd. Or would be odd if that was the truth or the case. All right, so last night I was dreaming, and I was having a really intense, like, it was long. It was a long dream. Like, my dreams don't usually last that long, or aren't that like epic. Well, they usually are, but they're usually kind of like epic stories. But this one was really long. Like, it seemed long to me. And there were like many different sections to it, although it was all like the same dream, really. But so I wake up from this dream, and I feel extremely agitated. Like, it was weird, but it wasn't my energy. It was strange. There was no reason for me to feel agitated or, like, I mean, really irritated. None at all. I couldn't figure it out. So I sit up in my seat, and I look at the clock in the car, and it was 2:22 exactly. So then I start recording my dream, because I record them in voice memos in my phone, just because it's easier than writing it down sometimes. And I mean, a lot of them I write down, but anyway, itchy nose. I recorded for 40 minutes total. I know that I did. I looked, like, because the recording on my phone is about 40 minutes long. It's a little longer than 40 minutes of my voice, and it's normal tempo and everything. Like, I didn't speed it up, I didn't slow it down, nothing. When I stopped the recording, and while I was recording it, I was feeling this strange agitation, like really powerful, but inexplicable, like severe irritation, like agitated. I'm like more than irritated, agitated, like aggravated even. And excuse me, itchy nose. When I stopped recording. This is true. This really happened. And I thought, well, you know, this could be like any number of things. Like, how did this happen? But I looked, I checked. When I stopped the recording, 40 minutes of me recording my voice had gone by. I had gotten out of the car. I had taken Bella for a walk. And I mean, like 40 minutes. I get back in the car, and I happened to look at the clock in my car, like the car clock. It was at 2:33. That means only 10 minutes had actually passed. What? Like, and I sat there for a while, and I thought, what, did I miss something? No. Like, what the fuck? That's a 30-minute time difference. What? And I had just watched this video, or not, I hadn't watched it really, but I listened to it because I don't really watch videos. I listen to them. But I had just come across this time miracles video. It was a long video too. It seemed like it anyway. But this man was talking about things like that happening. And I wasn't trying to notice it. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't looking for it. I said a prayer before I went to bed for, you know, that if it be God's will, you know, that I have a time miracle. And then I woke up and that happened. And the funny thing was I was trying to record my dream, and I felt like it was useless because my dream had so many aspects to it that it was kind of pointless. I mean, it would have taken me a very long time to. It was like a cloud atlas dream. There were many different sections to it. Oh, excuse me. And each section was connected to every other section, but excuse me. But it was very intricate, like, story, so I couldn't, unless I got all the details, it wasn't really going to make sense, kind of thing. So I felt like it was a futile attempt. You know, it's futile of me to try to record this really long dream when I couldn't really hold on to the detail of it, you know, the intricacies of it. So I just kind of gave up. And I was, you know, that's why finally I just got Bella out of the car to go for a walk so that she could go pee. And, you know, which only lasted, I don't know, maybe a couple minutes. You know, we weren't out there very long. It was cold and wet. So, you're so cute, Moo. The Moominator. But it was so, you know, it was so cold and wet that I, you know, got right back in the car with her. And, but like, that was 40 minutes had passed. What the fuck? 40 minutes had passed, and yet on the car clock it was only 10 minutes. So I tried this again. So I started recording my voice again, and you know, doing like a voice memo recording, and I recorded about approximately 10 minutes, and it was 10 minutes on the car clock, on the timer on the phone, and on the clock on my phone. All the same. So, and during that time, that was when the agitation was pretty severe. And I think that, I mean, like, I was like ready to like hit something, like, not, you know, but like, you know, when you hit something in frustration, you know, like honk the horn, or you just, you know, stomp your foot kind of thing. That's what I mean. Not like, you know, but I was really agitated. And so then it occurred to me that slowing down in time, it was the cause of that. That's why I was agitated, because there was no reason for it. There was no reason whatsoever for me to feel that level of agitation. None at all. So I thought to myself, I mean, it's not hormonal. It's not anything. Like, that's not normal. That's not normal at all. So I thought, you know, what is it? And it was passing so quickly. I mean, like today, I don't feel it at all. I feel it like stop and go, but it's gone so quickly that it's like it might as well have never been there. But I thought to myself, like, well, I think that the reason I'm feeling that is because of the slowdown. The speed up is like my tongue feels so cold right now. Like, not cold, but like I ate menthol or something. Like, it doesn't feel cold, but it's like the cold sensation. I don't know how to explain that exactly. It's a sensation of cold, but it doesn't feel cold. Like, it's not the temperature cold. It's like when you breathe in and you feel the coolness on your tongue, but like my whole mouth feels cold. Like I took a mouthful of menthol or something. It's not actually cold, it's the sensation of being cold. This has been happening to me for a long time. I've looked at, like, reasons why. Like, maybe it's my teeth. Maybe I have, like, encephalitis. Maybe it's, like, a brain tumor. I mean, I've looked at all kinds of things, and nothing. There's no explanation for it whatsoever. None. No medical explanation, anyway, that I've been able to find. And nothing that's negative, anyhow. It's always, like, it's kind of, like, anyway, kind of weird stuff. But, yeah, totally weird. Like, I mean, weird. Like, I know how it sounds, too. I know that I sound like a nut. I know. And, like I fully, I 100% realize what I'm saying and how it must sound. And, like, frankly, I don't care, because the truth is, the truth is the truth. And, I sit and think about things to the point where I know that that's what happened. Because I concede to myself often that I might be wrong about something. I might be wrong. The thing about the car clock thing was that 2:22 was on the clock. It was 2:22 exactly, and I notice angel numbers a lot. So when I saw 2:33, you see what I'm saying? And only 10 minutes, according to the car clock, had passed. But it makes sense why I was agitated, because the slowdown of time is, like, it's enormously frustrating feeling. But it, like, doesn't have any, it's like, I don't know, for my, any of my female viewers, if there are any, I don't even know. You had, like, severe PMS, like, horrible, like, you're just, like, rah, ready to fucking explode at the whole world, and you don't even know why. And it, in the case I'm talking about, it's hormonal, but, like, it's that kind of, like, nth degree, like, you're just ready to fucking explode. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, you're just mad, like, and you don't even know why. It's irrational. It's irrational. And that's how I felt last night. And I thought, what the fuck is this? Like, that's weird. I'm not hormonal. I'm not hungry. I'm not too tired. I'm not any of those things. So it doesn't really make sense why I'm feeling this way. And then when I realized that the time thing that was happening, that's what had happened, that I slowed down so much and so quickly, then it made sense to me why I was feeling so agitated. But, like, and I'm not saying that that's what PMS is. I'm not saying that when you're PMSing, you're time traveling or something, because I doubt it. But it seems to be, like, anyway, I don't know exactly. I haven't gotten to that conclusion yet. If there is one, I don't even know if there is. But anyway, that's what happened last night. And then, like, I had weird dreams this morning too, about all kinds of weird stuff. One woman in particular was funny. I, like, visited her for something in particular. Weird. And then I saw my mom and an old ex of mine. Strange. And I was talking to them about my car insurance not being paid. Like, I don't know what that means exactly, but it was an odd dream. Usually my dreams are not so based in, like, everyday worries kind of thing like that. They, like, cut the ceramic for my window kind of wacky. I never noticed that before. Huh. Anyway, that's like a piece of the ceramic is missing. I can see through it. Anyway, but anyhow, I don't really know what all that means necessarily. I mean, we're all time travelers in the sense that we're traveling through time, so it's nothing particularly special about what I'm saying, or about, saying, like, I'm a time traveler, like we all are, really. Some of us more than others. But I thought that time difference thing was weird. I mean, really, like, it struck me as odd. I didn't I didn't realize that was happening. And then the thing that happened during the Perseids meteor shower, that was weird, because I mean, a lot of the time things happen, and because of the solitary nature of my life up until this point, I don't have anyone to perceive it with me. But this person perceived it, and it was 20 minutes difference. Like a solid 20 minutes, not less, not more, not like maybe 15, 20 minutes. It was 20 minutes. Both of us said that to each other. And I thought, how is that possible? I mean, I even thought, well, maybe there were two of the events, and now there weren't. Also, there was one very visual part of the meteor shower. It was such a big, whatever it was, asteroid, meteor, comet, whatever it was, because it was moving super fast. I mean, really fast in space. It wasn't, I don't think it was an asteroid, because it was moving so fast. I mean, even visually, you could perceive it was moving really fast. But when I saw this thing, it had like the red-blue shift of something that's traveling at the speed of light. And it went through space, and I could see space like a bubble in front of it and behind it go kind of like, kind of like a lava lamp. That's what it looked like. It looked like a lava lamp, like moving at the speed of light kind of thing. I was just like, I had never seen anything like that up until that point. 32, 12, 11, and 12 on the clock when I said that. No, I've never seen anything like that. It was big too, whatever this thing was. I don't know what it was. But it was moving super fast. Really fast. And then there was this thing hiding behind my car, like right after that. And like, honestly, from my spiritual background, if I hadn't visually, this thing didn't look right. I mean, it looked scary. I was scared. My first reaction was fear. I mean, like, not fear like run and hide, but fear like, what the fuck is that kind of thing. I mean, really though, I mean, my heart rate was up and everything. I mean, I had like, my hands started to sweat. Like, it was physical fear. It was kind of like a fight or flight response. And I usually don't run. So I stood my ground, and like also my dog's in the car. And it was interested in what was in the car is the thing. Like, it was interested in what was in the car. And it was also concerned that I was concerned about what was in the car. And Bella was in the car. Like, that's, I mean, I do care about the car, but like ultimately more I care about Bella more. And so I checked myself. I stopped myself from, I don't know what I could have done in this situation. I mean, there wasn't anything I could do, but I checked myself. I checked my fear, and I was like, why am I afraid? I'm not sure why I'm afraid. There's nothing happening. There's nothing to be afraid of. Like, nothing's happening right now. Like, it's not that nothing's happening, but nothing that I need to be afraid of is happening right now. So I checked myself, and I did like a vibe check, like check the vibes. And I realized very quickly that this thing, whatever it was, and it was very long-legged, and it was dark. It was darker than the background of the sky, like black too, not a dark, deep blue, like black. And like black and brown. And it looked like it was like striations through time. It wasn't in this time dimension. It was, but like I could barely perceive it. And it was moving really fast. Like, almost too fast to perceive it at all. But I did perceive it. And it was very tall, very long leg, like very thin, long. Like, it was scary looking, honestly. It was freaky looking. It wasn't human. There was nothing human about it. But it didn't look like any kind of alien I had ever seen either. This thing was huge. Huge. Like 14, 15 feet. Like, all kind of disjointed and weird. Oh. Excuse me. But when I did a vibe check, it was concerned that I was scared. And I'll tell you what, one thing I know about evil shit is that it doesn't give a fuck, like, you know, it doesn't care at all if you're scared. In fact, most things that are evil, and I mean just like everything that's evil, like everything that's like useless down to like downright evil, it doesn't care if you're scared. Furthermore, it will harvest your energy. That will harvest the energy of fear, because most things that are evil tend to feed off of negative emotions like that. So I knew, oh great. So I knew right away that this was not something that I needed to, you know, that's not cool. This was not something that I needed to be, like, actually. Your lip is up on your, super cute. Oh, my Momo. She's like, I'm thoroughly enjoying your sleeping bag right now. You look like you are, boo. You really do. It looks like you're thoroughly enjoying it. My hood dog. My hood dog in a blanket. My hood dog in a sleeping bag. So I hope that's only happening over there. I would not want to have. Yeah, they fucked up the, excuse my language, but they messed up the ceramic job on my back window here. Anyhow, so when I realized that this thing was actually concerned with how I felt and didn't want me to feel anything negative, like, I talked to it, and I know that sounds wild, and it was wild at the time. I was still on the phone, and I was like, this is strange. Like I said, it was really my first interaction with anything like extraterrestrial, really, because it happened during the meteor shower. I had never seen anything like this, so I don't know how, but I think Earth's timeline sped up and matched the timeline of something else, so that it was close enough so that we could merge, so that something could come through that needed to come through, that had been looking to come through for a long time. So that's what happened, and that's what I saw in space. Like, I actually saw the distortion of space-time because of the speed of this object passing through it, which I know all sounds wackadoodle, I know. At the same time, I know that's what happened. So and it was this thing, it was specifically for me too, because I saw it multiple times, or I wouldn't say I like saw it. Not like I saw it that night. It like conformed itself to me in like a dimensional sense, not physical necessarily. But there were a couple times, because I turned my back on it. It was like this thing didn't want me to look at it, because it was concerned that I would be scared, and also it just didn't want to be seen. And I was like, well, that's a very human and, like, you know, emotion, so I'll just turn my back, kind of thing. Like when somebody's peeing and they know they're just peeing, but they feel self-conscious, kind of thing. And this thing felt self-conscious. I don't know why, but it did. Maybe it thought I would perceive it as ugly or something. I don't know. Anyway, I turned my back, and then after that, this thing was like behind me. And you know when someone's behind you and they're like looking at your phone screen or something, and they're like paying attention to everything you're doing? That's what this thing was doing. It happened to me a number of times, and I was talking to it. I was like, you know, that's kind of creepy. Like, it feels creepy, you know, like maybe you want to like back off a little bit or something. I don't know what, but like it feels creepy. What you're doing is creepy. It like feels creepy. Not like in a bad sense, but just in a weird sense. It's like, what is that? But like spiritually, if I took this thing just on its visual and I didn't do a vibe check, because anytime something feels wrong or looks wrong, you should do a vibe check. You should really do a vibe check every time. So when I did, I realized that this thing was actually like concerned with how I felt and was concerned that it was scaring me and didn't want to scare me. Which is like, that's not something evil, dude. Evil things don't give a damn how we feel, let alone like actually try to change their vibe so that they don't scare us. That just, it doesn't, that's not how it works. Not at all. Like evil doesn't give a damn about how anybody feels necessarily. And certainly doesn't try to make itself like less scary to, anyway, that's not how that works. But this thing was like checking me out for like really closely. Like it was like all up on me kind of thing. But it was like from here, like perceiving it, what I was doing from here the whole time. And I was like, that's weird. I'd never come across anything like this before. But like I've, you know, and a couple times I've had to tell it to back off because it's like, you know, you're creepy. It's like you're creeping me out because it's a feeling of being watched all the time. But there's nobody there. There's nobody there. There's nobody here right now, but I know I'm being watched. And no, it's not some hacker in my phone or anything like that. Not right now, anyway. This is something that's here. 41:41 on the clock when I said that. But it's not here. I know how that sounds. Oh my God. It's like, it's not perceived visually because time and space is curved. So it bends light. It bends time, like time and light. Kind of like the Predator suit. I keep having like messages about the Predator thing. Like predators. Like I had a dream about predators the other night and it was actually scary. Like I was actually like, whoa, this is like freaky. I was actually like, I was unnerved by this predator dream. And but it was like that. It's like that. It's a kind of bending of perception so that we don't visually see things. But it's still there. We perceive it, but it's not visual. So it's like this, it's a way of bending time and space, light specifically, time and light, so that we don't see it. Like it makes it invisible to our eyes because our eyes are not, you know, our eyes are very much like if you were a fly, time would be sped up for you. So if you watch television, you'd see each frame, like individual frame, and it would look very choppy to you. But because we're at a slower rate, we don't see the space in between the frames, so it looks like one continuous picture. That's what this is like. We're going too slow to perceive of it. So to us, it looks like there's no break in space-time. But there is. And it's not a break, it's a bend. It looks like there's no bend in space-time, but there is. Yeah, okay. That makes perfect sense, right? Anyway. Wow. I get downloads often while I'm speaking, so it's kind of like my brain doesn't have a chance to catch up yet. The speed of thought is a thing, though. The speed of consciousness is faster than light. So it's just as fast as light, if not faster. 100%. So I don't know. I don't have a place to like measure these things necessarily. And I don't really have other people with which to perceive them. So I'm pretty much on my own as far as, yeah. But I know I'm not crazy. And I'm, 100% sober. Not suffering from any mental illness situations. No depression, no anxiety, no I don't even worry about things, man. Seriously. And it's not because I'm naive or gullible. I'm just like very pure-hearted and genuine. A lot of things I don't pay attention to simply because I don't want to. I don't want to pay attention to that, so I don't. It's not that I don't know that it's there. I'm not going to give it my energy. I'm not going to give it my time. Not even a little bit. Especially negative shit. Yeah, no, just not paying attention to it. So, yeah. What I said. That's fucking weird. Love it. Moo. Do yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. I woke her up. Were you daydreaming? Were you doggy daydreaming? Sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you. Your doggy daydream. I'm sure it was a good one. I should have gotten a sleeping bag for her too. They were giving them out and they had a lot of them left. I'm sure they could have spared one for my dog. But I didn't want to be like greedy. Of course, I'm not greedy as a thing. I'm never like that. So I don't know why I felt bad about it. But I didn't feel bad about it, but I just didn't do it. Anyway, I'm so happy to have that sleeping bag though. It makes a big difference. I'm able to stay warmer in the car than I was able to without it. And I had a lot of blankets too, and it was just I wasn't able to stay warm. So, you know, I'm really tired of living in the car though. Like, honestly, I'm really tired of it. I'm super grateful and happy about what I do have, and still I'm fucking over it. Like, I'm over it. 44, what is it? 46, 44 on the clock when I said that. Yeah, I'm over it. I want to get out of the car. I'm tired of living in the car. And I want Bella to get out of the car. I don't want to be in the car anymore. I don't want to live in the car. Yeah, no. I mean, there are so many people. I was agitated last night. I was yelling. And I was saying, you know, what did I say exactly? I said, you know, I've been living in the car and I make the best of fucking everything, which is true. And then, I said, I was still yelling, and I said, you know, there's so many shitty people in this world who aren't even grateful for the smallest things, you know. And that's also true. I mean, so many people, they have everything that they could ever possibly need or want in any given moment, and they can't even be grateful for it. They have family, they have friends, they have money, they have homes, they have love, they have everything they could possibly fucking need, and they can't even be grateful for it. That's greedy. And they still want more. That's greed. That's horrible. That's a horrible sickness that I would never want to have. Ugh, gross. And some people like literally can't rid themselves of it, of that illness of greed. And greed is like a hunger for more. And not in a good way. Not like, you know, you want, you know, you're like, you know, an innovator and you want to make the world a better place. So you're looking how to, you know, looking at how to expand your marketing or something like that. That's not what I mean. Like, in a good way. That's not what I mean. In a bad way. I mean, as in, how can I get more for myself? That's when you have enough, when you have plenty, and you can't even be grateful for what you already have. That's greed. Yeah. Awfulness. Anyway, like, you know, I know what's in this world. I know I'm in this world. I'm just not, you know, of the world. And, you know, it's difficult. Sometimes it is hard. It's hard to look at people and not just be like, God, what a piece of shit. I mean, I honestly, that is what I do think. But, like, I try not to think that just because it's a waste of my time. And I don't like to waste my time. Especially not on stupid shit like that. Like, people, like, bleh. Crappy people really just, like, I love them enough to give them to God, and then I'm done with it. I don't want to pay any more attention or time to you because you're already greedy about the time and attention that you have, and then not even grateful for what you already have in the first place. Oh, excuse me. It's mind-bogglingly fucked up. Like, truly, well and truly. I don't know what it is with all the burping. I'm like, I haven't eaten anything, and like, I'm burping, and I haven't actually had anything. Are you enjoying my sleeping bag? I think you are. She ate the biggest hole in my pillowcase. Didn't I show you? I think I showed you. Anyway, when I picked up her poop last night, it had green silk pillowcase in it. She's like, you should be so lucky. Really. Anyway. What are you doing? Miss it. Are you thirsty? You need some water? Do you need some water? You're gonna have to get out of my seat if you want some water. I gotta. You're so cute. It's painful how cute you are. Miss it. She only has one sock on. Just one sock. She's like, get that fucking camera off me. She doesn't like being videoed at all. She doesn't like it. She does pictures, but she doesn't like video. She doesn't like it at all. What? It's true. You don't. You're super cute. Can I pinch your cheeks? Mimu. You are so cute. I love you. The Moominator. Bubbles. No, do not eat holes in the sleeping bag. I will drag you from behind the car. No. Don't do it, girlfriend. Don't do it. Don't sit there and look all cute at me. No fucking way. All right. Don't cry. I love you. All right. Love, blessings, compassion, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. No one's going to do it for us.